So welcome to this workshop about Gemini. It has already been said, we are Women Tech Makers Montreal. Woo! Yo! Okay. So how many of you knows already Women Tech Makers? Okay. I would expect everybody. I will tell what is Women Tech Makers. So Women Tech Makers is a program by Google that it has been created to celebrate women in tech and for International Women's Day. Here in Montreal, we have a chapter, and we usually do one event per year where we have a lot of talks, soft talks, tech talks, and especially we have a lot of networking. And I think it's the best part because we are proud to say that after our event, especially in the last 2 years, we had people with new jobs. So it's something that goes beyond the day of the event. It's also a journey for the volunteers, so if any one of you want to become a volunteer, you are all welcome, not only women. And it's a journey because you can learn a lot how to organize an event and also how to manage the software behind the event to create design, website, and so on. So it's something interesting for everybody. Hello, by the way, I'm Stefania Pecore. I came from Italy, and I've been working in AI since 2008 or 9, something like that. And I've been working in several industries, manufacturing, video games, healthcare right now, and also education. I have a background in research. And I'm also a mentor for different organizations, not only in Google, also Women in AI and Women in Games. And since this year, I'm also the lead of Women Tech Makers Montreal, and I've been appointed by UNESCO as an expert in AI, so that I can stay update for responsible AI, at the same time I can convey the message behind everything that is responsible AI and ethical AI. And now the word to Letizia.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Letizia Pires, and I'm Brazilian. And my background is civil engineering, but currently I'm working as a data scientist consultant and machine learning instructor. And yeah, I worked in diverse projects in education, media, startups using GCP. And I'm also a Woman Tech Maker ambassador, and I'm part of the program. School in Brazil is a LURA, so I'm a LURISTAR ambassador, and I'm mentor for Mulheres em Dados.
Hi everyone, my name is Hanin. I am a student software engineering at Concordia. So I joined Women Tech Makers around 2 years ago, and I met these beautiful ladies and a few more that are in the audience right now. I am also the GDST lead at Concordia University, so if we have any students here, join us. We have like a bunch of events as well. Apart from that, I am also, my experience has mostly been interning, as a student. So I did some backend dev, some cloud dev, some front-end stuff. So that's it for presentation. Now, onto the agenda. We're going to have 3 parts to today's presentation. The first one is going to be the theory between Gemini 1.0 and Gemini 1.5. The second part is going to be the practice part, and then we're going to talk about the multimodal world of Gemini. Okay, so on to the first part. We all know that right now LLMs are really the hot topic in AI. Google has been in this space with the Gemini family for a few years now with the Gemini 1.0 models, so the Pro, the Ultra, and right now they introduced the Gemini 1.5 model. So we're going to first talk about the switch in architecture between the 2 models and how this is going to affect the way the models are and how we're able to use them. So the first model, all of the first models are based on transformer-based architectures. So basically, one single large network is going to be responsible for processing sequential data. It has multiple layers. And the new models, basically, they take this network and they kind of divide it into smaller models that each are expert in their own task. And then there's a gating network that determines which expert is going to do which task. So this is much more efficient. So to take an analogy, let's just so we all understand better, imagine we have a large team that's working on a very large project. The way the first model would approach that is it would have all of the developers collaborating together to tackle this very large project. So as you can imagine, each developer has their own expertise, but they all have to work together. They have to communicate, to collaborate. So there's a lot of overhead involved. And the new project, the way it would work is we would divide that into very small tasks, and we would assign the task to each specific developer. And so each person would be very focused on their talk and on their task. And the communication would be done by a coordinator that's like coordinating the whole team. So that's much more efficient. On to the second thing that was introduced with Gemini 1.5, which is a larger context window. What that means is that the model is going to remember more of previous conversations that you had with it, and it's also going to be able to take larger inputs. So whether that is your actual query or request that is large, or any supporting data, text, images can be larger as well. So the first generation had 32,000 tokens. The second one has 128 available to the public right now, and up to 1 million tokens. If you're one of those people who always want the best, you can also sign up for 2 million. It's on a wait list right now. Yeah, so that goes for the Pro and the Flash, and they're currently testing up to 10 million for the Pro. So we're looking forward to next versions as well. Gemini 1.5 also introduced new multimodal capabilities. So that means that the model is able to take like audio, images, and code as well as text, and treat all of this as one single input. So they're not going to be able, they're going to be able to treat all this as a single input and answer your requests. And then one more thing, it has domain-specific knowledge because the new model has been trained on a larger data set that is more diverse as well. And so it's going to be able to assist you in tasks like in very specific fields like medicine, legal, technical stuff for developers as well. And then overall, to just wrap up, 1.5 Pro performed 87% more than 1.0 Pro on benchmarks when they've been tested on text, obviously, for 1.0 because it doesn't support the other two. But that's a pretty big number, so we're looking forward to see how it performs as we're using it. Okay, now on to Stefania for the next part.
So we will talk a little, we do a little of practice. This will be more on the Studio AI, and then we will have Vertex AI and Collab. So how many of you have already used or know what is Google AI Studio? You also know? That's interesting. Ah, you see me? Okay, perfect. Okay, so Google AI Studio is basically, you can imagine as a user interface. It's a web interface where you can test your models, you can play with it. It requires no code, but however, it can then help you to build your application because you can download all the code in different languages, and you can use them with the API key. So it's very interesting if you want to play a little. It's a playground. So, quiz. I want you to reply. I have 3 apples today. Yesterday I ate an apple. How many apples do I have now? Are you sure? Okay, you're right. So we asked this question to Gemini 1.0 and 1.5, and we saw that 1.5 was able to not only reply in a correct way, but also to explain why, which is very, very interesting in terms of logic. Second quiz. What's heavier, a kilo of feathers or a pound of steel? Sorry, what is the reply? Okay, you cannot reply. Okay, so. Okay, so this question is a little tricky because we know that pound and kilos are not the same. At least we know that Gemini 1.5 Pro knows that, and now we know everybody. And so basically, they will. It's we cannot say that they will measure the same, because especially like a pounds, it's 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So yeah, so it's over with the quiz. Okay. So what I'm showing to you is basically some tests that we usually do with LLM to understand the consistency of the replies and also how logically they reply. So there is also another test that is, can you please generate 10 sentences that end with the word apple? This is a way to test if the LLM can understand the user and also if can follow the instruction especially. And it's kind of hard from the result to say who is the winner. Probably it's Gemini 1.5, but the difference, at least for this example, is not too much. But however, both they were able to reply to follow our instruction. Then there is another test that I really love. It is called the needle in a haystack. So we talk about the context window. We talk about, we can say, the memory of the large language models. So this test is very nice because we will use a very long text, and then at some point in the middle of the text, we will just write something that is totally unrelated. In this case, what I wrote was that, I don't remember in which, like, what was the year, in the 17th century, Steph learned, I think in Madrid, the Pedro dance. And I asked at that point to Gemini 1.5 Flash and Pro if they were able to reply to the question, when and where did Steph learn the Pedro dance? So Gemini 1.5 Flash was not really able in this case to tell me the reply, but 1.5 Pro, it was able to find the reply in the text. And the text was very, very long, however. And of course, this is fake news. I was not living during that time. Okay, and now we go into the other session, that is the multimodal world of Gemini. So this is a see, yes. So you can download from the QR code the code itself. You can scan it. And we also put a video so that we make sure that everything will work. But I'm pretty sure that you have the code on the notebook. So this workshop will show you a different way to use Gemini 1.5. And we will do also some comparison with Gemini 1.0 where it is applicable. So first of all, what we did, it was well, to install all the dependencies that we need for Vertex AI and to use also our collab. So everything that you see, you usually can also retrieve it from the notebook from Google directly. So it's not something new. We will go over very rapidly. And after importing all the libraries, we also assign the different models so that we can reuse that. Yes. Oh, yeah. And here you can see how to basically enter your project for Vertex AI from your Google Cloud account. Of course, we put your project ID because we don't want to have more extra costs. But for sure, if you have your Google account, you can put your project ID and replicate it. First thing that we did, it was the textual understanding. So we compared Gemini 1.0 and 1.5, and we asked a question: what is the average weather in Mountain View? It was interesting for us since on May we were there. And considering the weather, please provide some outfit suggestions. So as you can see, this is the reply for Gemini 1.0. I mean, it's already a lot. We have a lot of information. We have, however, a really good reply, I would say. In terms of outfit suggestion, they are divided by part of the body, which is, I really like that. It's very organized, and we have also the additional tips. Then we did the same for Gemini 1.5. More or less, we had a similar reply, but I will say that it's more friendly, and it was also giving titles of how to dress. So probably from the user experience is more engaging. And at the same time, I mean, I would say the information are more or less the same, but it is more friendly, more human-centered, we can say, in replies. Then, we did also another task that is the document summarization. So we were not able to do the same with the PDF with Gemini 1.0 because we had an error, since usually Gemini 1.0 is used for text. But 1.5 is also able to handle the PDF. So we just took the Gemini 1.5 paper and we asked about how can you basically summarize this paper for us. So we can say that the reply was very, very good. It was able to basically give us the overview of the model, and especially the parts that are the most interesting for the user. And I really loved also the responsible deployment part.
So another cool component is being able to understand and reason across the images. And so in this case, we have an example using Gemini 1.0 provision in 1.5 Pro. So basically, we provide to Gemini two images of glasses. So these two images, glass 1 and glass 2. And we are asking to Gemini, which of these glasses do you recommend for me based on my face shape, considering that I have an oval face? So yeah, and explain how you reached this decision and provide your recommendation based on my face shape. And please give me an explanation for each. So as you can see in the first one, this is for Gemini 1.0. Basically, Gemini I recommend glass 1 for you because they have a rectangular shape that will help you to balance your oval face. But it's a short response. When you try the same for Gemini 1.5, asking the same question, Gemini 1.5 provide friendly response and with more details, like people with oval faces are lucky, he said. They can typically wear a wide variety of frame shapes, and Gemini explained why and the options that is better for your face. And the last sentence, remember, fashion is about expressing yourself. Have fun with it. So 1.5 is friendly comparing with the Gemini 1.0. So yeah, now we also can generate a video description, for example. So in this case, we have an example of video I put here. Is without audio, it's just video. And we are asking to Gemini, what is shown in this video? Where should I go to see it? And what are the top 5 places in the world that look like this? So yeah, the video shows a place in Turkey. And here, Gemini provides 5 places that is similar to this place that you can visit. And you can see, you can confirm this information on this link. If you click on this link, you can see that this place is Turkey. And yeah, also we can ask, for example, which line is this? Where does it go? What are the station stops in this video? Show you. So we are asking these questions for this video. And the response is, this is the Confederation line in Ottawa. And the Gemini also provided the stations, the stops for this line. And also you can, if you click on this link, you can confirm this information. So now, about the audio understanding, we can also see the power of Gemini with audios. So from here, we are providing to Gemini one episode of our podcast, that the podcast that Women Tech Makers launched about 2 weeks ago. Sorry, I think 2 weeks ago. And I even recommend you to listen this first episode because it's about Google I/O. So we talked a little bit about the announcements, mainly about AI. So yeah, I will show you the video that we are using in this case.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about Google I/O. It was a recent event by Google. We were there, and we were there with also the other communities, such as the Cloud and Flutter communities and the GDG communities. And today we will talk a little how it was, and especially the updates from Google. We have a lot to say. Of course, we are a little biased because we are from the AI point of view, but we will interview other people that have different specialties, so it will be very interesting. And what is Google I/O?
So, if you don't know what this event is, basically Google I/O is an annual developer conference held by Google, and it happened in Mountain View, California. And this event brings announcements of new technologies. And to start,
So I need to stop because we don't have much time. But yeah, so in this case, we are asking to Gemini to summarize the information, provide a short summary and title for the audio. Yeah, basically topics about what we're talking in the podcast. And yeah, Gemini provide the title, Google I/O impressions. This is just a short audio, so yeah, in this audio we are just talking about our impressions and what is Google I/O, first time in Google I/O. Yeah. So yeah, and also for we are also able to generate entire this transcription. That is a great use case for Gemini 1.5 Flash, because Gemini 1.5 is faster. So yeah, here we also ask to transcribe this interview using the Flash model, and yeah, Gemini gives this response with the time, and with speaker A, that's Stefania, and speaker B, that's is me. And also, we can combine multiple modalities. So in this first case, we have a video and audio. So the first video that I showed you was just the video without audio. In this case, we
ゲームモー
have,
ドが作動して画質がさらに上がるんです。
we have the image and also the audio. So we are combine those. Yeah, and also the same. We ask to Gemini provide a description of the video. The description should also contain an important dialogue from the video, and Gemini gives this response. And also we can combine images, video, audio, and text. In this case, also we are using the podcast, the video that we posted on YouTube, and we got a short video, short part of the podcast. And in the video we show this, we have this this screenshot, and we are asking, basically we are asking to Gemini when is the moment in the image happening in the video. So tell me at which minute of the video the image appears. So yeah, the image appears at minute 2, around 2 of the video, and basically we are closing the video, thanking people for watching and inviting them to watch the following episodes. And yeah, that's it. So if you are interested to know more about the Woman Tech Makers events, and if you want to watch the podcast, listen on Spotify, you can scan this QR code, and you can see the complete episode. Thank you.